Friday Night Funkin on Roblox. I know to a lot of you that probably just sounded like on. I'm sure everyone who clicked this video is aware what FNF is, that free-to-play rhythm game made on Newgrounds. You probably first saw it in a Corey X Kenshin video, you know that one. Like any indie game that becomes even slightly popular, there's going to be a bajillion versions of them on Roblox. It's like a rite of passage. You follow the flowchart. Did your game get Roblox copies mooching off your hard work game? If yes, you're forced to deal with it. If no, you disappointed your family. I mean, that's just one of Roblox's problems that they've constantly had to deal with is copyright issues when its users upload stuff that they don't own the rights to. There's a really big game taken down that comes to mind as an example of this. It was like my childhood back then. That game is none other than the critically acclaimed Despicable Forces. Can't have anything these days.
I've been a bad boy!
FNF has a huge modding community, which is not only how that game has probably stayed alive for a majority of its lifespan, but also helps keep the Roblox clones stay active. These games get new additions by, hopefully, getting permission to add those individual mods as content into their game. The music being the biggest one for obvious reasons, but this could also include the specific animations, icons, sprites, all that stuff. So it seems for the most part that these Roblox clones are actually encouraged, and I'm all for that, by the way, if they are. It allows a ton of visibility to mods that I would have otherwise not heard about, and it's a lot more convenient than refreshing Game Banana every day, that's for sure. But what you might be thinking, if the game is free, available readily in your browser, then why would I ever want to work to playing this? I just want to play FNF. I don't give a shit about Roblox. There's no reason to. Well, can you play it on a PS4? I mean, yeah, with most Roblox copies, you can kind of see, like, why they exist to begin with. The main one being that it adds multiplayer, which is huge. But I suppose it's also for the convenience. Like I mentioned earlier, these games are packed with more songs aside from the base game from the individual mods made for FNF, making it a one-stop shop to play your favorite songs in, rather than downloading, closing and opening different mod folders, or even porting everything to one psych engine folder, which everything is not even guaranteed to be compatible on. So how did we get here? I remember starting with this game, the first FNF game on here that I at least remember playing. It's called basically FNF, a bare bones game that I'm sure the developer had no intention of gaining popularity. He's like, I made this just for me and my friend, and I'm not going to work on this game. But then he did work on the games for a little bit, and there's a sequel to the game that is still getting worked on. I'm not sure if it's by the same person, though. Point is, there's now, like, a lot of these games to choose from. Here's a list of the ones I could find, from earliest to latest. Saturday Night Swaggin', Basically FNF, Funky Friday, Literally FNF, Mic Drop, Basically FNF Remix, Lemon Funky, Even More FNF 2, Friday Night Funkin' but a Roblox Original, Monday Morning Misery, Friday Night Bloxxin, Starlight Funk, Celestial Melodies, Rapability Test, FNF Multiverse, Friday Night Partying, Project Funk Night, Project Afternight, Saturday Noon Freakin', what, huh? The hell is this game? Well, yeah, okay, scratch that one. What happened here? For the record, this is what the game was supposed to look like. Please don't go searching for it. And also, don't ask me how this game was released before FNF even came out, because I don't know. I assume it was its own thing, and the developers just like changed it to FNF midway through. Literally no idea. Might be asking Peter, why would I want to switch between all of these games? The simple answer being that just like they all offer something different. I could just tell you the ones that I recommend because half of these games don't even work. Like I mentioned before, there was a huge audio sweep due to like copyright back in March 2022. Any audio over like 6 seconds long was just removed from these games, and these games were in shambles. Shambles. They had to like hundreds of songs they had to re-put into the game. So the games that no longer receive content support, they just are left to rot. I guess like you can't play the songs in those games for the most part. Just so this video isn't omega useless, I'm going to tell you a bit about these games so you can decide for yourself what's worth trying. There's 5 of them that I recommend to start. So we're going to start with Basically FNF Remix as one of the less laggier games if you're on potato hardware. It has a dedicated solo section if you wish to be undisturbed without making a private server. It still gets updates, which is great to see for a classic game like this one. The players you find here are not the best, which means you'll have a more casual experience, not having to worry about winning or losing. There's always someone willing to 1v1 you. As a decent selection of songs and animations, honestly not a bad game for Roblox players to start on. Let's hear from a user who loved this game. Curb122212 says, the cooler Funky Friday, 8.5 out of 10. Well, you heard it here first, folks. But yes, reluctantly, I will say Funky Friday is also a good game to try, though if you clicked on this video, you probably already played it.
Shit, Nick's dead.
I stopped playing it after its year-long hiatus, and the fact that it's somehow associated with Game Fam, I've seen enough. Besides that nonsense, this game has a significantly longer song and animations list, along with a few mod charts and game modes to choose from. Lots of customization options with the notes especially, and the only games let you pick a stage irregardless of the song you chose. The animations and emotes are admittedly super grindy, as you cap out at 50 max points per round. You'd also get these awesomely built maps every huge update, or at least you used to. Lots of players you find here with a more competitive atmosphere. When big rhythm YouTubers play Roblox, this game ends up being their go-to. Let's hear from a user who hated this game. Sad my account deleted says, it died as soon as it was bought from GameFam. 0 out of 10. Couldn't have said it better myself. Bloxxin here is also another heavy hitter, sharing most of the same features as the last one. Feels like this one for sure has like the most songs offered to play too, with custom extra key charts thrown in on popular songs. It includes some of my favorite animations too, when they put a lot of effort into specific songs to make them accurate to the source material. The game was slow at updating, but they tried to keep things fresh with events and secrets and stuff like that. Bloxxin is also probably the laggiest Roblox FNF game. You're less likely to find someone in a 1v1 you hear. The community is dog shit. The owner is weird, and that game is probably never updating, but the engine is kind of good. So, there's that. But let's take a word from a user who only was mildly content with the game. Dark Dragon D-Dog says, devs are extremely weird and create way too much drama, causing people to take out their FNF mods. And there are way better RoFNF games now. But it was cool for its time. 5 out of 10. It's heartbreaking, truly. Now to talk about rappability test, you get the impression that this game wants to be unique, and goddamn it, they succeeded by every metric. I love this stupid ass game. This game's got character, it's got personality. You ever see an FNF game with a gacha mechanic? You probably haven't, and you probably shouldn't. There's a story mode, quests, and dailies. There's a fucking season pass, holy shit. You can roll your luck for icons and animations, which all seem to be original to this game. There's a ton of quality of life features, and a small handful of them locked behind a paywall, but they're still cool, I guess. There's a separate lobby for skill-based battling too, but it is very unfortunate to me that they suffer from a low player count, as it has one of the shortest song selections to choose from. This game is extremely charming, and I really wish they had more going for them. But I mean, it's a small dev team, so they're doing their best. Let's get insight from exactly 4 users at the exact same time. What differentiates Rat from other FNF games,
a great rhythm
Roblox,
game,
is
which
their
has
case
its own
a
very
very
creative
creative
story,
take.
unlike
They're
their
very
YAFN.
well made.
Additionally,
But I'll admit,
Rat's own
it's not a lot to do
story
with
modes
the
and
songs,
songs
I don't
to
know.
play as quests.
Now, Project Afternight, one of the newer RoFNF games to be released, and I'll just say it's a really good game. I was staring at the settings menu just baffled, because like, wow, look at it. And the hell kind of song needs 18 keys? Very interesting selection of songs too. They have a lot more non-FNF songs they likely won't find in other games. Whether that's a good thing is up to you. As for animations and icons, you actually earn those simply by completing a song from the mod they're from with at least 70% accuracy. That means there's no currency to grind for, which also reminds me this game has 0 game passes, 0 items for purchase. The devs get like $0 on this game, and there's people complaining that updates are slow like it isn't held up by a hamster on a wheel. The somewhat odd selection of songs, while I personally don't mind it, can be excused as this game came out like a year ago. There's enough in there for FNF players as well as other rhythm gamers since they're not limited to just beeps and boops. Only downside really is that they're a bit weird when it comes to solo play. They don't like it, they don't want it. There's private servers for that, but console players don't get that luxury. I'm sure they'll have a middle ground eventually. If you liked any of the previous games mentioned, please give this game a try. I'm surprised it doesn't have more players. Not even going to show user review, they're basically like all positive, and the temporary in-depth testing only shows that it's getting better. Now to talk about YAFN Clones. These games get their own category, YAFN meaning Yet Another Funky Night, a game that used to be popular on Roblox but was taken down later due to some wacky controversy. Anyway, it became open sourced, meaning that anyone could use their engine for their own game, spawning tons of other Roblox FNF games from it. Friday Night Partying is probably my favorite from these, just for the animations themselves. Can't expect much variety from these games, but they all come from the same thing, you know. Project Afternight used to also be one of my go-tos before, but I have no idea what happened to them, honestly. If you noticed in the list of games, this game is exactly the same as Celestial Melodies. This guy used to be the owner, but after checking the Discord, literally nobody likes him, and he's not even there, so probably avoid the Celestial Melodies one. Starlight Funk is kind of cool. Like, is that Starcatcher? Anyway, yeah. Now we have these games. They're kind of like more accurate recreation. I don't know how to describe it. So these games are different in that they're more accurate to their source material in one way or another. Monday Morning Misery and literally FNF stick to 2D sprites and backgrounds like FNF does, with Monday Morning Misery being a popular pick, but they update that game like once a year, if anything. Friday Night Funkin' but on Roblox is as it describes, but it's still in 3D, just playing as if you were in the original game in terms of the story mode and interface limited to only single player. Two miscellaneous games here, like Lemon Funky and FNF Multiverse, just out here doing their own thing. I have no clue if FNF Multiverse gets updated, but at the very least, both games are functional. They just didn't fit into any previous category. And as for the rest of the games, they either don't work or were abandoned somewhere in development. Basically, FNF, even more FNF2, just barely work. Though these other two games in particular were special to me, being Might Drop and Saturday Night Swaggin'. These two experiences allowed its community the ability to chart in their very own in-game editors. If a song was uploaded to Roblox, anyone could pull the ID and begin charting it and share it with anyone. When the audio sweep hit, these games basically ceased functioning in development right then and there. Everyone's chart were now obsolete. I'm sure the devs just looked at their PC screen and was like, yeah, hell no, we're going to work on a different game. Look at this crusty old footage of one of my first charts ever. I can't believe it's gone yet. Real quick, one last game I've neglected to mention until now. It's called FunkyBeats Remix. It seemed like a more generic rhythm game, but given the name, note skin, and ratio of FNF songs, I suppose it belongs in the video. At first, I was devastated by the forced down scroll. I was this close to just begging in the Discord for up scroll. YouTubed me on my knees like, please, please, please. But then he added it like a day later, so. It's a neat little game, leaderboard for each song, which I definitely try to take the top spots, but I realized I suck, so whatever. Well, I think I covered like every currently available FNF game on Roblox, unironically. I'm just gonna say it confidently, so I don't have to worry about putting any more effort into this stupid ass video. If there was actually a game I missed, fuck it, you're a RoBeats parody now, not my area of expertise. And thanks for the support on that FNF video I made a while ago. I have no idea where any of you came from. Never did I think I'd hit a video with 1,000 views. But yeah, thanks for watching.